This pregnancy literally took me from someone that used to eat like sizable food portions. That's the cocoa. I just want to hear that this baby's heart is beating. Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to another video. I am so happy to be here. I'm so happy to have you guys join me. If today is the first time here, welcome. My name is Tosin. Thank you for clicking to watch the video, and I hope that you do consider subscribing to the channel. So, if you guys are seeing this video, then you probably already know. Of course, the news is already out. This girl, your girl, is gonna be a mom. And I am so excited, guys. It feels so unreal still. Sometimes I just find myself like thinking, I'm like, wait, what is happening now means that in a couple of months, I will have like an entire human being in my care. I'm like, I'm only just a child. I'm just a child myself. So, as you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be giving you guys a lowdown of all that went down during the first trimester of this wonderful, wonderful pregnancy. So, first thing I'm going to start talking about are the symptoms that I had or experienced. I didn't have the typical morning sickness that a lot of women experience. I didn't have the generic pregnancy symptoms. What I did notice the first couple of weeks was that I was having some weird dreams. Like I would have dreams that just did not make sense. And also, I was experiencing constant urination. Like before the break of dawn, I would go to urinate at least 5 times. Like I kid you not, I'm not even joking. 5 times. It was so weird. I'm like, which one is all this peeing and peeing and peeing? Then I realized, could this be my own pregnancy symptoms? Because prior to that, I was kind of in disbelief that it was actually happening because, other people that I know of, like that I used to watch, would say it was just as if the symptoms were waiting for them to find out. I mean, like as soon as they found out they were pregnant, all the symptoms started rolling in for them. So I was on the lookout for what the symptoms would be. But I was praying, oh my goodness, God, please, I don't want to be throwing up. Oh God, please, I don't want to be sleeping at work. So I was so concerned for work because I didn't want to have to be running to the toilet to go and puke during work and all of that. So I was on alert, like I was waiting, what will the symptoms be for me? So for the most part, like the first 2 weeks after I found out, like I did not experience any symptoms. I'm like, I feel normal now. I feel the same. Is this really happening? So I will go back severally to go to retake the test. Like I will go do the pregnancy strip testing and say, I am actually pregnant. I did that twice, I think. I'm like, it's actually positive, double line still. And it's, but I'm not feeling anything, no. So it was so weird. I'm like, am I not supposed to start feeling something? I was in disbelief for like the first 2 weeks because again I didn't feel anything. But then I remember like, wait, period has not yet come. So that means this is actually happening. Because guys, one thing I'm very grateful about, the number one thing, aside from okay, obviously I'm going to be bringing life into this world. The other thing I'm grateful about is that holiday, that break from menstrual cramps. So those were the symptoms, constant urination and the weird dreams. Those were the early symptoms. And then at some point, I think maybe in the fourth week, I did notice that I felt weak on a particular day. Like I just felt weak, not like weak that I couldn't do things, but I just felt down. Let me say down, like my I felt down. Yeah, on that particular day. Like I had to give myself extra push to get things done on that particular day. Aside from that, I was pretty much okay to do the same things that I typically would do before I got pregnant. I was still doing my activities, going to work, doing everything as per usual. I was not sleepy. I did not have the vomiting symptoms. I did feel a little bit nauseated sometimes during work. I remember I'll be like, oh my God, God, please no, God, please no, no vomit, God, please no, no vomit. God. And then the nausea would just go. So yeah, I did feel like that a couple of times, maybe once or twice. I don't remember, but aside from that, like the pregnancy symptoms were kind to me. Later on in the pregnancy, let's say in the second month or leading to the second towards the second month, I would say I was suffering from severe indigestion, guys. If you know me, you know how much I love food, right? This pregnancy literally took me from someone that used to eat like sizable food portions to someone who ate very little, because I would eat and my food would not digest. Like just weird. Like I would still feel like my food was in my throat. Like it was so bad. And then I kept on belching. I didn't like it. Like so I went online to search for how to deal with that, and I found that eating a lot more fruits, eating apples were highly recommended, and eating in smaller portions and drinking from a glass, not drinking in gulps, not gulping your water, those things. And I started to, take small lunches to work and eat small portions of food. So that was how I managed that. Aside from that, there were no other obvious symptoms for me. So the next thing I want to talk about is like food aversions. Like I mentioned that I was still doing pretty much doing the same things as before. Um, Also for food aversions, I was still able to eat the same things that I usually enjoyed, except for goat meat. Like I had this disgust for goat meat. I don't know. Like even the thought, thinking of cooking goat meat was just irritating to me. But I had goat meat in the freezer, so I had to cook it. So sometimes when I cooked it, or when Obi made grills goats, I would just force myself to eat it, because I am honestly not a picky eater. So I would try it first. But then I noticed that like my system was not just enjoying it. Like I just felt irritated by it. So I just stopped cooking goat meat, stopped eating goat meat. Even when I cooked it, it would just be for my husband alone. So yeah, that's the one food that I could not stand. Another thing that I could not stand, not food, this is actually not food, was the smell of our laundry fragrance. Like I got this I think they call this in wash fragrance booster. Those things that are like tiny, tiny pebbles that you use when you want to do your laundry. I could not stand the smell of this particular one. I think was it lavender? I don't even know. I could not stand it, guys. Like the clothes literally end up smelling like shit to me. I'm like, babe, you need to reduce the quantity of this thing that you put in the cloth in the washer. And he would tell me that he has reduced it, but like I just could not stand the clothes. Like they irritated me so so much. So the next thing that I would like to talk about is the first time we saw the baby. Like obviously through the ultrasound, right? So I told you guys for the first couple of weeks that it was almost like, is this for real? So it was not until when we went and had our first ultrasound, I think at week 8 or week 9, I'm not exactly sure. That was when, I think it was week 8. That was when we were like, this is actually real. It was such a heartwarming moment. Like, it was so nice. Like so we went for the ultrasound. I actually went for my blood work. Blood work was a breeze, For someone that doesn't like needles, it was a breeze. I mean, I chested the thing, It was very easy, just went by. I don't know, maybe it was also the technician, but I think I was brave. I think I was brave as well. So yeah. So that was that. And then I booked the ultrasound, and Obi was there, and it was just so nice. Oh my goodness. And then we saw the tiny thing and the little flickering art. And I was like, that's the art bit there. I'm like, oh, it was I was like, I don't know, like we were just smiling ear to ear. And we saw the little art, flickering. At that point, obviously we could not hear the art beat, but we saw it and we're like, oh wow, this is actually happening. The next thing I want to talk about is our pregnancy scare. Right, yes, guys. We had a pregnancy scare at, I think, week 9 or week 10. Week 10, almost week 10 at that. Yeah, it was literally a day to week 10 that this happened. So, what had happened was that particular morning I had woken up. I think at this point it was already done. I woke up, went to pee, like the final pee, morning, early morning pee. And then when I wiped, I saw blood, and I freaked out. I'm like, blood? I did not even, like, since the period before I found out I was pregnant, I had not sighted blood down there. Like, I didn't even get like the regular implantation bleeding that they said a lot of women experience. Like, I didn't get that. So seeing this got me scared. Like, I was so scared. So I told my husband, it was like, don't worry, all is well, but you have to see the doctor. And mind you, at this point, we did not have a family doctor. And at this point, the walking clinic that I had gone to after I found out I was pregnant was able to finally refer me to an OBGYN, but they had not been able to, there was no slot yet for me to come in and get seen by the OB. So at this point, like, I was just hanging. Like, I didn't have a physician that was following up with my pregnancy. So I was just there. So when this happened, I'm like, okay, so where does this leave me? Where do I go? This is not like Nigeria where you can just walk into any hospital and get treated, like, just, do normal protocols, register, and da 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 da. So what do I do? So at that point, I just decided to go to a walking clinic. Mind you, before I decided to go to the walking clinic, I tried calling the OB's office again, just to see if they will be able to attend to me now that I had an emergency. But I couldn't reach them. I kept on getting like the voice prompts, which I was not patient enough to listen to until when I went to a walking clinic. I went to a walking clinic not too far from me. And when I got in there, guys, the worst thing, I got into the walking clinic and the receptionist told me that the doctor was not going to come in on that day because there was something came up for the doctor. Guys, I explained what was happening to her, and she was not helpful at all. I can't remember what she told me, but it was not helpful. When I stepped out of that clinic, guys, I could not help it. I broke down in tears. Like, I just started crying like a baby. I cried, I had my moments, and then, okay, so what next? Find another walking clinic. But so, in order not to repeat the same thing that had just happened, I wanted to call first to check if they were available to take, to access me. And while I was trying to reach a walking clinic, I also decided to call again the OBGYN's office. At this time, I decided to farabale. I decided to calm down and listen to the voice prompts. And that was when I realized that they had been saying, if you have an emergency and you're less than 20 weeks, you should head over to the nearest emergency department. So when I figured this out, I decided to go on Google Map, searched for the nearest one. I went downtown to downtown Toronto to the emergency department. And guys, emergency is not emergency. Well, it depends on your case, I guess. So I got there. I saw that the wait time was 6 hours. I saw all these people waiting. I'm like, 6 hours. I was freaking out here, and I'm supposed to wait 6 hours. Anyway, I registered, went to the triage, had my blood pressure and everything, answered questions they asked for me, the routine questions. Eventually, hours later, not 6 hours, but hours later, it was my turn to get seen. I think they took my blood, and then eventually I got someone attend to me and do a scan. That's the cocoa. I just want to hear that this baby's heart is beating. Is beating. So they did the scan. They saw the baby. The heart was beating. I heard the sound of the heart. At this point, by the time I would eventually finally see the doctor to do the scan, my husband had closed from work. Guys, mind you, I got to the clinic, to the emergency department at past 12. What am I saying? So it's about 6 hours now. I got I got to the emergency at past 12, like say 12:30, and I only got attended to, like I got the scan done eventually at like to 6 or thereabout, yeah, to 6 or past 5. I shall know that I left that place at past 6 to 7. Guys, medical care here is a different ball game entirely. Anyway, they checked me and they saw that the baby's heartbeat was beating. They did some other blood work, checking HCG levels. Everything was all right. But they said if I really wanted to like reconfirm, and they refer me to like a proper radiologist. I think that's what they call them. So I said yes, I would like to do that. So the next day, that was for the next day, I had to come back to that same hospital. I think it's University Hospital Toronto or something like that. But another department, not the emergency this time. So I went there the next day and did the scan and everything, the ultrasound. I even did a transvaginal one, and everything was fine. And this mama was calm. So that was such a trip, like, guys. All this while I've been saying, "Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, wow, this has been a breeze. It doesn't even feel like I'm pregnant." Like, and then boom, this happens. So there was no actual explanation. They just said, "Well, such light bleeding can occur during the early stages of pregnancy." Da, 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 da. But I do have a feeling that it was because of a supplement that I took. Because another thing that I noticed was there's this prenatal gummies that I was taking when I wanted to when I when we finally agreed, okay, we should start trying, right? As preparation, I started taking these gummies. So I think the after a few weeks after I've gotten pregnant, I started to feel irritated by the taste of the gummies. It felt like the gummies were too sweet for my liking. So I decided to order another prenatal vitamin. This one you have to swallow. I think in the night before I saw this bleeding thing, I took that. So I think because obviously when something like this happens, you start to think, what did I do prior? So I remember that I did that. So I discontinued taking that thing. I didn't take it again. So yeah, I don't know what it is that was there. And did I explain it? I don't think I eventually explained that to anyone. But they said, yeah. So that happened, and it has been fine since then. I guess. So for the rest of the first trimester, we were good. So during my first trimester, showing or not, I don't think I was showing. I just because normally I did not have a flat tummy, so I was not showing. I didn't think I was showing. It's just that I could not suck belly. I just released my stomach. Typically, I automatic suck belly mood all the time, but yeah, I stopped doing that. But I was not showing. Like you couldn't tell. Talk about is fitness, guys. It was my plan that it was in my plan that I will be active and going to the gym and da 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 da. No, the only form of activity was, moving around, going to work, jumping the bus, jumping the train. That was it for me. And occasionally I would go to the gym, which I'm not proud of, but that's just what it was for me. And yeah, that's all I think I want to talk about in this video. I hope the video is not too long. I hope I did not bore you guys too much. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're currently also pregnant and you do not mind sharing, or you've been through this, let me know what your symptoms were at this stage of pregnancy. Did you experience the same things that I experienced? Let us chat in the comments, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye.